Gather around, children. We are going to continue our story time of On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century by Timothy Snyder. Published in 2017, we are on chapter 6. We are reading this book to educate ourselves so that we can do our damnedest not to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, of our past, especially 1930s, 1940 Germany. So let's get into it. Chapter 6. Be wary of paramilitaries. And man, my face is getting really swollen with this tooth infection. Oh well, we're gonna keep going. When the men with guns, who have always claimed to be against the systems, start wearing uniforms and marching with torches and pictures of a leader, the end is nigh. When the pro-leader paramilitary and the official police and military intermingle, the end has come. Most governments, most of the time, seek to monopolize violence. If only the government can legitimately use force, and this use is constrained by law, then the forms of politics that we take for granted become possible. It is impossible to carry out democratic elections, try cases at court, design and enforce laws, or indeed manage any of the other quiet business of government, when agencies beyond the state also have access to violence. For just this reason, people and parties who wish to undermine democracy and the rule of law create and fund violent organizations that involve themselves in politics. Such groups can take the form of paramilitary wing of a political party, the personal bodyguard of a particular politician, or apparently spontaneous citizens' initiatives, which usually turn out to have been organized by a party or its leader. ICE? Does this sound like ICE? Armed groups first degrade a political order and then transform it. Violent right-wing groups such as the Iron Guard in interwar Romania or the Arrow Cross in interwar Hungary intimidated their rivals. Nazi stormtroopers began as a security detail clearing the halls of the mustache man's opponents during his rallies. As paramilitaries known as the SA and the SS, they created a climate of fear that helped the Yahtzee Party in parliamentary elections in 1932 and 1933. In Austria, 1938, it was the local SA that quickly took advantage of the absence of the usual local authority to loot, beat, and humiliate Jews, thereby changing the rules of politics and preparing the way for the Yahtzee takeover of the country. It was the SS that ran the German concentration camps, lawless zones where ordinary rules did not apply. During the Second World War, the SS extended the lawlessness it had pioneered in the camps to whole European countries under German occupation. The SS began as an organization outside the law, became an organization that transcended the law, and ended up as an organization that undid the law. Because the American federal government uses mercenaries in warfare, and American state governments pay corporations to run prisons and internment camps, the use of violence in the United States is already highly privatized. What was novel in 2016 was a candidate who ordered a private security detail to clear opponents from rallies and encouraged the audience itself to remove people who expressed different opinions. A protester would first be greeted with boos, then with frenetic cries of USA, and then be forced to leave the rally. At one campaign rally, the candidate said, "There's a remnant left over. Maybe get the remnant out. Get the remnant out." The crowd, taking its cue, then tried to root out other people who might be dissenters, all the while crying USA. The candidate interjected, "Isn't this more fun than a regular boring rally? To me, it's fun." This kind of mob violence was meant to transform the political atmosphere, and it did. When the candidate lost the next election, he tried to falsify its results, while his followers attacked our capital. Had that coup succeeded, our constitutional system would be no more. For violence to transform not just the atmosphere, but also the system, the emotions of rallies and insurrections and the ideology of exclusion have to be incorporated into the training of armed guards. These first challenge the police and military, then penetrate the police and military, and finally transform the police and military. Stay tuned for chapter 7, which will be the next, as it does come after chapter 6. See you in the next one.